Welcome, viewers. You are back with Bring the Fact. This time, we will uncover the hidden side of a major event that has captured global attention. Why is it that Israel, with all its advanced military power, has never been able to completely defeat Hamas in Gaza? Is it simply about weapons and technology, or is there a deeper reason that the world often overlooks? Stay with us, because what we are about to reveal might change the way you see this conflict. But before we dive deeper, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. That way, you won't miss any of the hidden facts we are going to uncover next.
Israel is often portrayed as a nation with unmatched military strength. It has some of the world's most advanced weapons, powerful intelligence networks, and technology that can track targets with precision. From drones to guided missiles, from cyber units to elite special forces, everything points to a state that should be able to crush any opponent in its path. Yet, when the world looks at Gaza, a small strip of land under siege, the story is different. The question lingers: why has Hamas survived every attempt to destroy it? The answer lies not in the power of Israel's weapons, but in the complex reality of Gaza itself. One of the most unique challenges Israel faces is the structure of Gaza. This territory is one of the most densely populated places on Earth. Families live in crowded blocks, with narrow streets and homes pressed side by side. Beneath the ground lies a hidden world, a network of tunnels stretching for miles, dug with determination over the years. These tunnels serve as safe routes, storage facilities, and even command centers. They allow Hamas to move fighters, weapons, and supplies without being exposed to surveillance from above. Destroying a tunnel may take seconds, but building one takes months of silent preparation. And when one is lost, another often appears. The urban environment also transforms every battle into a nightmare for invading forces. Unlike open battlefields, Gaza's tight neighborhoods make it difficult to distinguish between civilians and fighters. Hamas units often blend into the civilian population, moving between houses, using the landscape as a shield. For Israel, every strike carries the risk of civilian casualties, and every civilian death fuels global outrage. International law, human rights campaigns, and constant media coverage all act as invisible barriers that limit Israel's freedom to act. The war is not only fought with weapons, but also in the court of global opinion. Another hidden obstacle lies in the political arena. Israel is not isolated. Its every move is monitored by allies, rivals, and international institutions. A single strike on the wrong target can trigger diplomatic backlash, sanctions, or new debates at the United Nations. This pressure forces Israel to operate with caution, sometimes slowing its campaigns, sometimes pausing altogether. In contrast, Hamas has no such restraints. Its actions are driven by survival, ideology, and the will to resist no matter the cost. This imbalance creates a paradox. The stronger Israel becomes militarily, the more it is judged morally. Technology, too, has its limits. Precision bombs and high-tech drones are powerful, but they cannot erase the determination of fighters who know the land better than anyone. A tunnel hidden beneath a school or a mosque is more than a physical structure. It is a tactical puzzle designed to make Israel hesitate. If Israel attacks, it risks being accused of targeting civilians. If it does not, Hamas gains time to prepare another strike. In this way, even the most advanced army can find itself caught in a web of small but deadly decisions. The war in Gaza is not simply a matter of one side having more weapons than the other. It is a clash between visible power and invisible resilience. Hamas has turned the environment itself into part of its defense, while Israel, despite its strength, must constantly calculate the political, moral, and human costs of its actions. This is why the conflict drags on, year after year, with no clear victory in sight. Gaza is more than a battlefield. It is a living puzzle where strength alone is never enough.
At first glance, Hamas may look like a weaker force compared to Israel's massive military machine. But what surprises many observers is the way Hamas has managed to adapt, survive, and even strike back after devastating campaigns. The secret lies in its flexible structure and its ability to rebuild quickly. Leaders may fall, buildings may collapse, but the organization remains. This resilience is not accidental. It is the result of years of preparation and a design that ensures no single loss can destroy the whole movement. One of the most unique features of Hamas is its layered leadership. Unlike conventional armies that rely heavily on a central command, Hamas has multiple levels of authority. If a senior commander is eliminated, others are ready to take his place. This decentralized structure makes it difficult for Israel to achieve a decapitation strike that ends the movement once and for all. The idea is simple but powerful. Cut one branch and another grows to replace it. This ensures continuity of operations even under the heaviest bombardment. Hamas also draws strength from its ability to blend into the population. In Gaza, fighters are not separated from civilians in uniforms and bases. They are often neighbors, relatives, and members of the same communities. This creates a strong support network, whether openly or silently, as people provide shelter, information, or moral backing. For some residents, Hamas represents more than a military force. It is a symbol of resistance against occupation and blockade. This perception allows the group to regenerate its ranks and maintain relevance, even when physically weakened. Another unique factor is the use of propaganda and media. Hamas knows the power of narrative. By presenting themselves as defenders of the oppressed, they appeal not only to Palestinians, but also to audiences across the Arab world and beyond. Images of resistance, survival under bombings, and defiance against a stronger power circulate widely on social media and satellite television. Each story of survival becomes part of a larger myth that strengthens the group's image. This psychological dimension is as important as any weapon on the battlefield. Logistics also play a crucial role. Despite the siege and constant surveillance, Hamas built methods to secure weapons and resources. Smuggling tunnels once connected Gaza to Egypt, while local workshops produce makeshift rockets and equipment. Even with heavy strikes, caches of weapons are often hidden underground, waiting for the next confrontation. This ability to maintain a flow of resources ensures that Hamas can continue its operations long after outsiders expect them to collapse. It is a silent economy of survival, hidden beneath the rubble.
When observers look at the conflict, many assume that Israel's goal is the complete destruction of Hamas. But in reality, analysts argue that such a total victory is almost impossible. The physical elimination of every fighter, every tunnel, every leader would demand a level of violence and destruction that the international community would never accept. Instead, Israel's strategy has slowly shifted. The aim is no longer to erase Hamas from existence, but to weaken it to the point where it can no longer launch large-scale attacks. This redefinition of victory shows how difficult the battlefield truly is. The cost of the war has become a heavy weight. Each operation in Gaza leaves behind devastated neighborhoods, destroyed infrastructure, and countless displaced families. Images of ruined homes and wounded civilians spread quickly, not just within Palestine, but across the globe. This creates an enormous diplomatic challenge for Israel. Allies begin to question the effectiveness of military campaigns, while critics use the humanitarian toll as evidence of moral failure. Every bomb dropped in Gaza echoes far beyond its borders, affecting Israel's reputation and fueling further debate in international arenas. The pressure also grows inside Israel. Military campaigns are costly, not only in financial terms, but in terms of security. Each new offensive requires thousands of soldiers, billions of dollars, and weeks or months of preparation. Meanwhile, families in Israel live under the threat of rocket attacks and uncertainty about when the next round of fighting will begin. This cycle of war and ceasefire leaves both societies exhausted, yet without a lasting resolution. In this sense, even Israel's victories feel temporary, and Hamas's defeats often seem reversible. Another boundary of power lies in international involvement. The United Nations, humanitarian organizations, and foreign governments all play roles that limit Israel's actions. Warnings about human rights violations, investigations into civilian casualties, and the risk of sanctions create invisible lines that Israel cannot cross without consequences. While Israel remains powerful militarily, its operations are constantly scrutinized. This scrutiny forces adjustments, pauses, and compromises. On the other hand, Hamas operates in a different moral space, with fewer expectations and fewer restrictions, which paradoxically gives it more freedom in certain tactics. Experts suggest that the real solution to the conflict may not come from bombs or missiles. Some argue that defeating Hamas requires offering the people of Gaza a credible political alternative. Without hope for a better future, resistance groups will always find new recruits. Others believe that international diplomacy must play a stronger role, combining sanctions, negotiations, and reconstruction efforts to shift the balance. The battlefield alone, they say, cannot solve a problem that is deeply rooted in history, identity, and survival. Yet despite these analyses, the cycle of violence continues. Each side sees itself as defending its existence. For Hamas, resistance is tied to the survival of Palestinian identity under occupation and blockade. For Israel, military action is tied to the defense of its citizens and sovereignty. This clash of survival instincts ensures that neither side easily backs down. The result is a war that persists through decades, shaped by tunnels, rockets, politics, and human stories of loss and defiance. It is a reminder that in Gaza, the struggle is not only about land, but also about the boundaries of power and the resilience of belief.
The story of Israel and Hamas is not just about war, but about the limits of military power, the weight of politics, and the resilience of human determination. Each strike, each tunnel, each negotiation adds another layer to a conflict that refuses to end. Behind the headlines are ordinary people caught in an extraordinary struggle, living every day with uncertainty, fear, and hope. That concludes the series of facts we uncovered today. Don't forget to subscribe to the Bring the Fact channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss out on other important fact revelations.